Be on second, 1 out. And the pit, oh no, step over to second, throws over, gets back safely, sliding. And we'll do it again. All right. And the windup. There it comes to the set and the pitch. And that's a ball high on Putnam. 1-1. We got ones, 1 out, 1 runner on at second. That's Yardley. Got on E5. Third baseman mishandled it and lost track of it. And that's a high ball to Putnam. 2-1. 1 out, runner on second.
For those of you watching at home, I apologize for going in and out. We're having a little bit of trouble right now with the live stream, but keep checking back with the Westfield Babe Ruth YouTube page. We will be on there. We're back live now.
Back and better than ever. That's fouled off by Putnam. That brings it even to 2-2. Yardley patiently waiting at second after a stolen base. Putnam is 1 for 1 today with a single. And he smacks it over to right field. It could be trouble, and it lands foul just out of the reach of the right fielder. So we'll do it again. 2-2.
Great effort by the right fielder there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I like about these kids. They really give it their all.
I mean, for them, playing in a field that's as great and new as Bullens is to them, our kids are pretty lucky that they've been growing up playing here and will continue to grow. I mean, they're only 13 and they're playing on one of the best fields, I think, in Western Mass.
Yes, absolutely. I'd say so. That one's ripped down the line of left field, but foul. Doing it yet again, 2-2 on Putnam. He's fighting to stay alive. Yeah, I've been saying it for a few years now. Even before all these crazy but great renovations to Bullens, this is, from my experience, definitely one of the best fields in Western Mass. Mackenzie Stadium is probably up there as well, and that's driven to left field as well. Left fielder going back. It's over his head. Runner goes home. And Putnam sails into second with a stand-up double, and the runner scores. So RBI double for Putnam. Very nice.
Great two-strike hit in there right there. 2-2 count, and he's still staying aggressive.
Yeah. Now 7-0 in favor of Keene.
Still, like we said, Tim, very early in the game. Nothing that these Vermont boys can't come back from. I don't know how their previous schedule was, but I could probably guess that they weren't up every single game that they played. Definitely know that they earned their way to be here. So.
Absolutely. The first pitch to Keene is high for ball 1. Again, 1 out and 1 on second. Set. And he steps off looking at the runner at second. Doesn't throw over.
See Pittsfield and Westfield warming up in the cages down there. Their game's originally supposed to start at 7 o'clock. Probably not going to start until around 8:30 earliest.
And that's a ball outside to Keene. Yeah, I've been telling them all day that we had one game going to extra innings into the 10th, and that pushed everything back.
Throws the whole schedule off.
Yeah. And, I mean, last game, high-scoring game, so you know that takes a little bit of time as well. Right. This one even, I mean, we're only through 2, and it's 7-0, and it's been a little while, so taking a long time to throw over to second. He slides in safely. Still a 2-0 count to Keene. And the pitch is high to Keene, so that makes it 3-0. I can't imagine he'll be swinging on this one, being up 7-0 and just a runner on second. Has to be perfect if he is. And that's right down the middle. No swing as expected from Keene. Takes it 3-1. Probably a similar approach. First at bat, however, Keene had a 2 RBI single and then stole 2 bases. So he's already having a day. And the pitch, and he hits it. Ground ball under the third baseman. Shortstop gets it, but not in time to catch him. So we'll have to see what the official scorekeeper does. Personally, I would give him an infield single. I think he beats that out 9 times out of 10. But we will see. The runner did not advance on that, by the way, so there's still 1 out. No count. Runners on first and second. Now up is Conley. First pitch on Conley is a called strike down the middle. His first at bat, 4-pitch walk. He eventually came around to score on the RBI double from Tucker Brown. 0-1 count to Conley. And the pitcher steps off. It looks like he may have something in his eye. He calls time even. Yep, definitely something in his eye. That's irritating. As a pitcher, you don't want anyone talking to you. You don't want anyone irritating you, let alone bugs. And although that's not controllable, you just wish it would not happen. Just something so unnecessary that you shouldn't have to worry about. And the pitch. And the ball is low, gets past the catcher, and both runners advance. So that's going to be a ball against Conley, and both runners advance, second and third now on the wild pitch. One and one to Conley. Pitcher comes to the set. And the pitch. And he swings and fouls it off. Ground ball towards the bullpen on the first base side. It's 1 and 2.
Try to whisper though, because I can hear you loud up there. Still 1 out in this top half of the second inning, Tim.
Yeah. And that's a swing, hard hit to right field, and that one just drops in fair. 1 run will come around, and the other stops at third. So an RBI single for Conley. Jeez. Now just 1 out in the second, 8-0, Keene. Runner on first and third. Now batting is Charles, number 12. Last inning, Charles and their catcher, Putnam, had a great play on it, dropped a third strike, just got the batter out. And the pitch is low. Runner at first advances to second. No throw, however. Runners on second and third. It's a defensive indifference. Now second and third. 1-0 count to Charles.
Charles is trying to put the ball either on the right side of the field or somewhere in the outfield.
And the ball gets past the catcher, and both runners advance. 1 scores. Unnecessary runs, unfortunately. So now there's just a runner on third and 1 out and a 2-0 count to
Pitcher
Charles.
for Vermont calling to have his coach come out.
He's been having something irritating him, but it just looked like something in his eye, nothing like a shoulder, arm, or anything. I'm not sure what they're talking about, to be completely honest. very rarely does a pitcher say, I want to come out. And I don't think that's what's happening.
Definitely don't think he should be wanting to come out of this game.
Yeah.
Probably just talking to his coach, trying to maybe vent just for a second.
Yeah.
He is going to stay in the game. Just needs to get himself out of this inning with one out. They have only scored 3 runs this inning, but unfortunately they did put up 6 last inning.
Yeah. It looks like he had some words with the catcher. And he has had a few wild pitches and maybe one pass ball on the catcher, but it's irritating, and maybe he's just taking it out on the wrong person. Pitch, and that's high in foul territory towards first base, and the first baseman comes over and gets it.
Pitcher put in a great effort there, though, running maybe 10 yards to try to get that ball, get him an out for himself.
Definitely. That was F3 on Charles, and now we have Schmidt coming up, number 6, the second baseman.
If you look at the size difference between some of these kids, I was up here for the Trumbull, Connecticut game, and those boys, some of them definitely did not look like they were 13 years old. And then you see the kid that's up right now, Schmidt, them standing next to each other.
Yeah. There's some that look definitely older. There's some that look definitely younger, and very few, it seems, honestly, that look like, oh, yeah, that's 13. And that's a hit. Oh, gathered by the pitcher, but the first base, it's in the dirt, and the first baseman bobbles it. So the run scores.
No real damage right there. Again, just trying to get a third out of the inning. It is 10-0 now. These boys just need to get out of this inning and get back in and hit. They did do some pretty aggressive hitting in the bottom of the second.
It's an unfortunate amount of runs given up by Vermont. Tucker Brown now standing in. And that's high for a ball on him. Brown has already had 2 at-bats. He's 1 for 2. Ground out to the second baseman, and then a RBI double. A 2 RBI double, that is. And that's a fly ball over by third base. Behind it, third baseman running over, and he slips. Did he hold on? No, he did not. Great effort, though. Sprinted back. That was a tough angle he had on it. Just lost his footing for whatever reason. May have been wet a little bit.
Again, like you said, Tim, great effort by these boys. Right fielder running over before. First baseman making a great catch to his glove side. These boys trying to do everything they can for their pitcher to get back in.
Tucker Brown standing in with a 1-1 count. And that one's outside. 2-1. 2 outs, runner on first. Runner at first going. High pitch. It's a ball. Oh, and the runner gets in there. He's safe. Looks like he may have spiked the shortstop a little bit, though. He's fine. He's walking it off.
Great jump right there for number 6, Schmidt.
Absolutely. And
trying to put himself in scoring position for the 9.
Yeah, and the hitter count continues, and it's 3-1. 2 outs yet again. Runner on second for Brown. The pitch, and he lines it over the third baseman. Runner is trying to score from second, and he'll get there, sliding in, and Tucker Brown advances to second. Very nice piece of hitting by him.
A little aggressive there, too, on the base path, recognizing that the throw is going to miss the cut, and that nobody's going to be standing on second base, taking that extra base, putting himself in scoring position, and trading spaces with the guy that he just scored.
Yeah, very, very smart. Great base running by him. Now on the day, he's 2 for 3, a single, a double, and 3 RBIs. Up now is Brannon. He's 1 for 2. And throw back to second base. He's in there standing safely.
Now, this New Hampshire team also just needs to not get comfortable, being that it's only the top of the second inning. Vermont still's got a ton of time to come back into this game. New Hampshire needs to stay on it, especially Vermont. This is still an all-star team. They do still know what they're doing out there. Definitely plenty of time for them to come back in, and New Hampshire just needs to not get comfortable.
Absolutely. That was a high pitch to Brannon, so 1-0. Yeah, a lot of teams can get too comfortable and a little cocky and start messing around and then immediately lose that lead.
Exactly.
You see it at all levels, too. Majors, minors, college, summer leagues, everything. Can't
Definitely
let it
happens.
happen. Yeah. Pitcher comes to the set. 2-0 on Brannon, the pitch. That's strike right down the middle. Called strike. 2-1 count.
Pitch hits him right in the back. It's going to be first and second for New Hampshire. Definitely not what he was looking to do there. But again, just needs to get himself out of this inning. Still 2 outs. That puts the force on.
So they've gone through 2 innings and they've batted completely around the order both times.
Making a defensive switch, it looks like here.
Vermont, you have a radio on your dugout?
Oh, you got a radio hanging up there. I wasn't sure if it was there. I wanted to make sure. All right, save you the trip.
Defensive switch here, making the change in first base. We'll wait to hear from the coach. Vermont, can you just let us know what that change is?
First base and the EH are switching.
Just double checking, Vermont. Is that your EH? Is now your first baseman? Pitch count on this pitcher?
Little miscommunication on the radio there.
36.
It's a 1-0 count now to Zach Moores. That first pitch was a little high. Second pitch, he grounds to the third baseman. He knocks it down, throws to first, and he gets him.
Great play by the third baseman there to get that third out, keep that guy from scoring. Take another quick break here between innings. Currently, it's the bottom, going into the bottom of the second. It's 11-0 Keene, New Hampshire.
Pitches in the inning for Beaupre for a total of 39.
Oh, it's his fault. It's definitely not my fault. It's the head coach's fault. Definitely not the assistant coach.
Now pitching, number 15, Connor Brannon.
We're back here coming into the bottom of the second between Keene, New Hampshire and Suburban Vermont. It's currently 11-0 New Hampshire. Pitching change on the mound. Who we got, Tim?
That's a great question. We have number 15, Brannon. He was at short. He moved to pitcher. The pitcher, Zach Moores, moved to left field. The left fielder, Yardley, moved to short. All sorts of switches, just defensively, though.
Vermont's got to get the bats going now.
And they don't need to. They're just going to get hit. Ryan Canty takes it off the thigh or hamstring right there, off the side, on the first pitch of his at-bat.
Not a great start for the new New Hampshire pitcher, but plenty of room for him to keep working.
Yeah.
Too crunchy.
Infielder meeting at the mound. First, third, and the pitcher.
Meeting of the minds right there.
I think when I played, I very rarely had a conversation that pertained to baseball during the infield meetings. It was always
totally
something
agree.
ridiculous.
Talking about where they're going to go for dinner after the game.
And the pitch inside almost hit him again.
This Keene pitcher just needs to settle in. He's only thrown 2 pitches, but coming off a great start. Great first inning by his starting pitcher.
Yeah, I wonder why they switched it up. But that's a ball low.
Tim, they do have some pretty strict pitching rules in this age group. We've recently started doing, for the tournament play, we started a pitch count. It used to be just innings that they were pitching, but now it has switched to pitch count. So I think anything over 45, they need a full day's rest.
Yeah, but this first guy, 9 pitches, 9 for 9 on strikes.
Very true. Maybe they're just feeling comfortable with their 11-run lead.
That's fair.
Feeling like they can put somebody in relief.
Give some other guys a chance. Maybe they wouldn't regularly see the game or something like that.
Quick trip to the mound, though, by the New Hampshire coach, trying to settle him down. I mean, he has hit the first guy and walked the second guy. But still, like I said, plenty of room for them to keep working here.
Absolutely. I don't agree with this, but I don't disagree with it. I get it. You definitely want to calm the kid down. I don't think the coach is worried about the score right now.
No, definitely just trying to slow the momentum down.
Absolutely.
Get his kid back in the game here.
Keep his head level. Yeah, my infield meetings, we would talk about favorites typically, like favorite movie, favorite ball player, name drops of old players, something like that. Keep it fun. Keep my mind off of the game if I'm struggling.
Definitely trying to relax.
Absolutely. That's
Here
a
he comes
strike.
back with a strike.
Lower part of the zone against Jake Perot.
Now, Tim, did you ever play under your dad? Was your dad
did.
Was that back when you were little?
Yes. The last time I played for my dad was actually in Babe Ruth in 13s, 14s for Cam 4.
What would your dad say to you if he came and made a trip to the mound for you?
My dad.
I've known the Kelleher family for a long time.
He would stand at the front of the mound. That's ball 2-1 against Perot. Stand front of the mound with his back to the umpire, and he would say to me, all right, once the umpire is right behind me, tell me. And I would tell him, and he would walk away right then.
Giving us the lowdown on what Mr. Kelleher used to say.
First of all, we weren't huge fans of umpires. No offense, sorry, but it was.
I feel like no pitcher, Tim. No pitcher's really a fan of an umpire.
But it was funny. It made me laugh, got my mind off of the game, and made me chuckle, and it was really funny for the whole team. And Perrott draws a 5-pitch walk.
Bases loaded here for Vermont. They definitely need to put a run across, especially with no outs here in the bottom of the second and down 11-0. Definitely green light, looking for something to drive here.
That's another ball low to Leon Roberts.
Roberts just needs to look for something that he can drive, put some runs across. But this New Hampshire pitcher definitely just needs to settle in, get comfortable at almost the big stage that he's on right now.
That's a strike, 1-1 to Roberts. But while we were waiting for the umpire to come up, he would usually say something really goofy like, "Hey, I think that girl in the front row is looking at you." I'd look over the stands, no one on the front row. Ground ball back to the pitcher. He throws home, and then catcher throws to first. That's a double play. That's a great play.
Great play right there by the Keene pitcher, getting some outs for himself, trying to get himself out of this inning a little bit. The Vermont boys just can't catch a break here.
That's a 1-2-3 double play.
Still 2 runners in scoring position for Vermont.
First pitch is a ball high to Wuttrich. The runner's still on second and third. Ball low, 2-0. That was a great heads-up play, though, honestly. Right back to him, and then he throws home, and catcher throws the first. Just great play all around.
Taking whatever outs they can get.
Absolutely. That's a ball weakly hit. Weak line drive. Bounces in. Shortstop barehands it. Throws over to first, and he gets him.
Great play by Keene right there. Again, getting themselves out of an inning. Last inning with a double play, and this inning with a great barehander by the shortstop, putting it away for their pitcher who struggled at the first half of this inning. Still 11-0 going into the top half of the third here in Westfield for the 13-year-old regional tournament.
Number 1 batter, Neil guys going in pitch. Third. Barrett Barrows. One of our subs is going in for Jake Draw. He's going to play third. Going in for Leon Roberts. He's going to play left field. 9, K-E-I-M. Got it. Cameron Sprague is going in for Tyler Woodbridge. He's going to play, that's an even change, he's going into right field. Okay, then the one, Colby that was pitching is going to center. He's going to okay.
Now pitching, number 2, Neil Guy.
And we're back here in the top half of the third between Keene, New Hampshire, and Suburban Vermont, part of the 13-year-old regional tournament here at Westfield.
Leading off is number 39, Liam Yardley. He was originally in left field, and now he's at shortstop for Keene. Keene has just been teeing off. First pitch is inside, ball 1. 11-0. 11 runs in the first 2 innings, 6th and 5 on 10 hits. Swing and a foul ball. That's a 1-1 count on Yardley. Another foul ball. That's 1-2 count.
Great swing right there.
It was. He's definitely got some good hacks today overall, but this at bat alone. He's reached successfully twice. First or second on an error, first on a single, I believe.
All the Westfield family starting to trickle in for their supposed 7 o'clock game. It's now 7:30, and we're only in the 3rd inning of this game.
Strike 3 looking.
Big strikeout here for the suburban Vermont pitcher. Trying to shut them down early in this half of the inning. Get back in there and keep the slight momentum that they had the last half. Get it back and get some more runs.
Indeed. Oh, line drive to the gap, left center. Center fielder gathers it. It's a well-hit single for Putnam.
Great piece of hitting right there, right up the middle. Out to the center fielder, who I believe was on the mound.
Yeah, I believe you're right, yeah. That is correct. They must have switched it around on us. Didn't tell us. Unbelievable. Whatever, we got it now. Now batting number 42, Kidney. He's the right fielder.
Another big kid up there who almost want to check his birth certificate, Tim.
Like the bench warmers, I am 12. So far today, he's 2 for 2. 2 singles, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. And
Great
that's
piece
a
of hitting.
line drive to straightaway center field over his head. The center fielder's not even looking back. He's just chasing after it. 1 run is rounding. Oh, no, he goes back. So, very nice double by Kidney.
Great throw right there by the center fielder, who was on the mound, did throw quite a bit of a pitches, and then throws a deep ball all the way from deep center field all the way into the infield to hold that runner at their base.
Yeah, very fortunate. Very, very well played by him. That's the second time this game we've seen the center fielder for Vermont just run straight back and disregard looking up or back or anything for the ball. He just knows it's too far over, and it actually ended up working out.
Not really much you could do there. I mean, I was an outfielder myself. I know how it feels to just turn around and get on your horse and try to go get that ball. Not much you can do, but great job getting it in.
Absolutely. Nothing got by me.
You're a little quicker than I was, Tim.
No.
I made some good catches, but I just unfortunately was not very fast.
I think one of the only kids that really hit a lot past me was Isan Diaz.
Who is now playing in the major leagues.
Yeah. Where is he's
the Diamondbacks?
No, I think he got traded, but he's in AAA now, I believe. Either way, the kid is amazing.
Another Western Mass kid making it big.
Yep.
Got a couple of those coming from right around our grade. Tim and I both graduating from Westfield High School in 2014.
Yeah.
Me playing varsity softball, Tim playing varsity baseball for Westfield High. We interacted with a lot of people. I know myself, I have a couple girls that went D1 for softball.
Yeah, likewise.
And a couple baseball players from a little bit younger than Tim going D1 for baseball, going to U Albany, Bryant.
Hartford.
New Hartford.
Yeah. And that's ball 4 for Conley. He takes a walk.
Loading the bases, but you do got 1 out. Definitely know these boys can make an out here. Gives them the force anywhere, and almost just trying to get an out.
Now batting is number 12, Alex Charles. Yeah, I had actually somewhat recently now, kids around our age are starting to get drafted. I know last year, Seamus Curran from Agawam got drafted.
As much as the blood between Agawam and Westfield wasn't maybe the best, you got to be happy when a kid from your state and a kid that you played against and maybe pitched to in your case, Tim, makes it big. That's something cool.
Yeah, got to give him props at least. And that's a fly ball to short right field. the second baseman went back, but went way too far left. And a run scores, but they did get the out at the forced play at second.
Might have maybe lost the ball. The lights did just turn on here at Bullens Field. Not quite sure that was the second baseman's ball, though.
No, I wouldn't say so, but...
His hat does keep falling off, though.
Yeah. Manny Ramirez style right there.
Tim's having a bit of trouble with the scorebook over here.
All right, I think I figured it out.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Great job, though, by that second baseman recognizing that runner was held up. Got first and third here for New Hampshire. Them still just trying to put a couple more runs across the plate at 12-0.
It's a ball high to Schmidt, number 6. He's playing second.
First base runner takes second base. Throw to the shortstop by the catcher. Great swing right there.
Yeah, swing and a miss, however. So it's a 1-1 against Schmidt. Even locally in the NECBL, we have Andy Morales from Holyoke and Joe Mercadante from Feeding Hills, Agawam, to go more locally as well. And they both look great, and they've been doing very well. They will most likely get drafted as well. The count is 1-2 on Schmidt, 2 outs. That's fouled back. He's staying alive.
Still great 2-strike hitting there.
Pitch to Schmidt. Looks just low. It's ball 2.
These umpires, Tim, are traveling all throughout the region. There's one umpire. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but he's umped over 100 games here at Bullens since 1997. I was talking to him this morning. He said it's his favorite place to ump in Western Mass and Massachusetts alone.
I'm not surprised. It's a great park. And it's not like a lot of parks where it's like tucked in the woods or anything, so it doesn't get too buggy. And that's a ground ball to the third baseman. He misplays it. Shortstop, it got past him. It gets past the left fielder. And a run scores.
It's unfortunate, Tim. These boys, some of ours might know about a little bit of a lip right in front of third base. That ball might have caught that lip a little bit and changed direction. Unfortunate for the third baseman, but now he knows, and I can promise that probably won't happen again.
I think that's the only downfall of this field, and it's honestly, that lip has been there for 20-plus years. When our older brothers played here, it was still there. And
remember, and these kids, too, it's their first time, especially for our Westfield kids, it's their first time playing on this big field. They moving from Cross Street, right from Cross Street, which is this little place in Westfield, all the way up to Bullens, which is something that they ball just past the catcher. Run scores from third. And so these boys are moving to Bullens, where they look up to. They look up to kids like Tim and people in our age group that have been playing here and that they might have been watching. But it is a little bit different for them to move into this big field, and especially here at Bullens. We do have a little bit of corks. There's a little bit of that lip, like we said, in front of third base. And for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward field.
And that lip, it's honestly, it blows my mind. It confuses me like crazy, because they have done, I don't know if you want to call it construction, but on that lip specifically to try and get rid of it.
Lip so many times, and every
year it doesn't go away.
Back.
It's like a curse or something. It just will not go away. That lip will never leave this field. It always comes back somehow.
I don't know. I feel like every field has one little spot that's maybe just imperfect. For the most part, though, the rest of Bullens Field is pretty straightforward. Even the out of bounds areas, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, absolutely. That's honestly the only spot I've ever had troubles with at all.
Try to tell the kids to either play it before it gets there, or play back so they can play it after it gets the hop.
Because if you're playing even with the bag, that's trouble area, and it might get you in the throat or something. And that's 5-pitch walk for Tucker Brown.
It's all right there. No damage by the Vermont pitcher. Gives you the force. First, second, or third, these boys can go.
Yep, runners on first and second. 2 outs still. And now Brannon up to bat. Number 15. First pitch. High for a ball. Yeah, I do love Bullens with the very few flaws now. Obviously, our brothers have played here, and we've been coming here since we were babies. That one is hit fly ball foul out of the reach of the first baseman. But it's been really special and very cool to see the growth of this field from the fence that is just honestly beautiful now, and all the advertising that goes with it, to all the new fences and netting, flagpoles, stands, seating, concessions, and the press box that we're in right now. It's been something just beyond interesting
Especially
to watch.
for us, Tim, like you said, like we grew up at Bullens. Tim and I both 21 now. We've known each other since maybe we were 4 years old, 5 years old.
Yeah, if not sooner.
Growing up at Bullens with both of our older brothers playing, and then me just loving baseball and coming to watch when Tim and some of my friends were in high school. Especially both of us living a mile away from Bullens Field. I know
Very
anytime
true.
me and my dad see the lights on, we got to come over, go see what's going on.
Absolutely true. I think from both of our houses we can hear screams or crack of the
Oh
bats
yeah,
and
we can definitely
everything.
hear the bats.
Oh yeah. That was a called strike on Brannon. It's a 2-1 count now. That one almost gets him in the head, but he ducks down. It's 3-1 count.
Especially to just see the growth, too, of Westfield baseball in general. Last year, the 14's lucky enough to host the World Series here in baseball with teams coming all over the country. We had a California team, an Arkansas team.
And that's a ball outside, and that's another walk. And, yeah, that World Series is really what helped push the city into investing into this field and making it as good as it is today with certain fencing and certain aspects of this park, even landscaping. It's really made it look very special and very nice.
Definitely a great investment for Westfield. Not just Westfield baseball, but Westfield in general. Bringing all those teams from all over the country here, kind of promoting our town and giving us Westfield folks something to be proud of.
All right. Now batting is number 19, Zach Moores. He started off this game pitching, but they took him out very early.
Vermont
only
coach
after
making
the
the trip
first.
to the mound, trying to just maybe slow this momentum down, get his head back in the game, get him back throwing strikes, taking this Keene, New Hampshire team down maybe a level.
Paying off just a little bit already. First pitch is in there for strike one. Second pitch, ground ball to the shortstop. Almost hits the runner going from second to third. Shortstop gathers it and throws on to second for the force out, and that ends the inning.
Vermont's got to get the bats going down in the top of the bottom of the third. Still 14-0. Keene, New Hampshire here in Westfield, Massachusetts for the 13-year-old regional tournament. And we're back here in the bottom of the third inning for game number 3 of the 13-year-old regional tournament here in Westfield, Massachusetts. My name is Annalise Eck, and I'm joined by Tim Kelleher doing the play-by-play.
Hello. First up, we have Colby. Help me with this last name. Beaupre? That looks right. Sounds right. First pitch to him is high for ball 1. He came in relief for the starter in just the first inning, I believe, and swinging strike on him now, 1-1.
Now, as much game as this Vermont team has left, they do need to get things started here, down 14-0. They do still have plenty of game left, but in the third inning, definitely looking to drive some balls, get some base hits. Not trying to do too much, but definitely need to put up some runs.
Need to try and get any momentum going. And defensively, that just hasn't been able to happen, unfortunately. There have been some errors or misplays or miscommunications. And, I mean, I've got to give credit to Keene. They're a great bunch of hitters. It probably isn't even the pitching so much. That one's fouled off to make it a full count. It's probably not even the pitching that much. It's just that Keene is such an effective group of batters that there's nothing that Vermont may be able to do as far as pitching goes right now. And that's a ground ball towards short. Short gathers it, throws it on time.
Long throw, and like we were saying before, Tim, it's not the first game that these boys have been on a big field, but their first year playing on a field like this, and a great throw by the shortstop there, making a long throw from deep in the hole.
Yeah, it was a very, very good play right there. Very deep. Tough for the younger guys to make that throw and make it on time. Big benefit of being a speedy guy when you're young. I definitely knew that feel. First pitch is a strike to Neil Guy.
And all these teams staying in Westfield, all of them getting housed at the Sheridan up by the Massachusetts Turnpike.
Very nice. Neil Guy, 1-1 count. That one he had to duck out of the way of. That one gets the inside corner for strike 2. 1-2, 1 out. 14-0 in favor of Keene. Swing and a miss.
Vermont starting to look a little defeated, but definitely still, it's only the third inning. Not that we want to think about it, but this game might end if they don't get some runs up on the board, but still got the 4th and the 5th inning to make some things happen.
Absolutely. And we believe the mercy rule would be in effect if they weren't able to. I believe it's 12 runs, a 12-run lead after 5. It's two balls to Ben Knapp to make it 2-0. And we definitely don't want to see that, but right now, unfortunately, it looks like we might see that end result. And it's really tough. Ball 3 on Ben Knapp. It's really tough being this young and just really getting hit and having a lot of runs scored against you. It's hard to bounce back from that and become remotivated to try and win this game. It can be really, really tough, especially if just one or two guys, like 2 leaders, like your pitchers, get so down on themselves. That can really just demotivate everyone else.
The leaders of the Vermont team, whoever they may be, that team definitely knows who they are. The leaders of that Vermont team need to pick everybody up, get them back on their feet and back in this game.
Throw over to first. That's Ben Knapp on first. He had a 4-pitch walk. First one on this inning with 2 outs. No count to Tucker Stearns. That's in the dirt. Ball gets past the catcher, and Knapp advances to second.
That's exactly what this Vermont team needs, though. They need to capitalize on the short list of mistakes that the Keene New Hampshire boys are making. We haven't seen too many of those, but the ones that they do make from now moving forward, the Vermont team needs to capitalize on them.
Absolutely. Just got to get anything going. And that's a drive to left field. Left fielder lining it up, and he grabs it for the final out of the inning.
Moving into the top of the fourth here, Billy Bullens Field is 14-0 Keene, New Hampshire, with Vermont moving in to play defense here in the top half of the fourth.
Pitches in the inning for Brandon for a total of 30.
And we're back here in the top half of the fourth between Keene, New Hampshire and suburban Vermont. It's part of the 13-year-old regional tournament here at Westfield, Massachusetts at Bullens Field. Still think we're going to be clear of the rain tonight, Tim. This weekend, unfortunately, I do think it's supposed to rain on Sunday and Monday, but trying to get in as many games as you can.
Liam Yardley with a hard hit ground ball right up the middle, gets off the pitcher's glove and gets past the shortstop. He was running to his right, or his left rather, and after it was touched by the pitcher, had to go and scramble back to his right, wasn't able to get it in time. That was Liam Yardley, infield single right there. Now pitching, by the way, is number 5, Ryan Canty.
Quick pitching change there. And again, both these teams maybe just trying to save some arms. Like we mentioned before, the pitching rule, I believe it's 45 pitches and they need a full day's rest. So I don't think any of these pitchers have maybe reached 45.
Throw over to first. He's in there safely, sliding. 1-0 count on Putnam.
Beautiful night here at Bullens. Stands starting to fill up for the Westfield-Pittsfield game. Originally scheduled for 7.
Hard hit ball, line drive past the second baseman. All runners are safe. Nicely hit single right there by Putnam. Now up is number 42, Kidney, the right fielder. He's having a day. He's 3 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 2 singles, and a double. Doing very well.
No outs here in the top of the fourth. Vermont definitely needs to shut this Keene, New Hampshire team down.
And that's a called strike on the inside half of the plate.
Get back in the dugout and get those bats moving.
And that's a ball high.
How many people are watching this game yet? We're practicing the blowout before we have the night.
And the pitch. And that's a strike on the lower half.
Keeping it low in the zone, definitely a good idea for these young guys.
Absolutely.
Not trying to hang anything up there and let these Keene, New Hampshire boys who have proven to be hitters, not letting them swing it much.
And that's a ball outside. 2-2 to Keene. And that's a swing and a miss for a strikeout. First out of the inning on Keene. Next up is number 8, Conley, the third baseman. Oh, looks like we have a sub, number 66, Morris.
For our friends at home, maybe watching for the Westfield-Pittsfield game, that game probably going to start closer to 9 o'clock here. Had a pretty long first game of the day at 11:30, went 10 innings, pushed back the whole day. Right now we're in the middle of the Keene, New Hampshire and suburban Vermont game, originally scheduled for 4:30, I believe.
Yes, it was. Didn't
Not
quite
starting
hit
until
our
around
mark.
6:30.
It's a ball in the dirt to Morris. The 1-0 pitch. Oh, and he steps off and throws to second. Runner is back safely, standing up. Pitcher steps back on the rubber. 1-0 count, 1 out. Runners on first and second for Morris. Pitch. That's a strike taken. 1-1. Defense thought that there was a double steal going on, but it was just a very convincing, aggressive lead, I suppose.
Still 1 out in the top of the fourth here.
And that swing, high fly ball in the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect. First baseman gets it. F3.
Great job by the pitcher there, forcing a pop-up in the infield.
Absolutely.
Definitely something this Vermont team needs is a couple quick outs, get themselves back home, get themselves back in the dugout, back swinging the bats.
2 outs now, luckily.
2 outs, runners at first and second. Vermont definitely trying to keep them where it is.
Number 88, McLaughlin, is pinch hitting or subbing in for Alex Charles.
Number 88, Jack McLaughlin.
Jack McLaughlin.
Now, Tim, what do you think of this pitcher's move, this pitcher's motion? Something that I quite haven't seen so far. Pretty high leg kick, but definitely his stride is real wide.
Yeah, let me get another look at this. Yeah, he does bring, and that's a foul back to the backstop for McLaughlin.
Not that I know too much
1-1.
about baseball pitching, but the amount of baseball games that I've watched and the amount of times that I've heard either your dad or my dad talk about pitchers, it's definitely feel like I know something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he does bring his leg pretty high up and pretty far back, and that's a high swing and a miss for McLaughlin, quickly down to 1-2. He does bring his leg a little bit too high, I'd say, and a little too far back. It may make him a little off balance or a little wild, maybe even overthrow a little bit. But other than that, he doesn't look too bad. And that misses inside. That's a 2-2 count.
Keene, New Hampshire swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, maybe getting a little too comfortable. But definitely still looking for something to drive.
And that's a ball high, so that's a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. First and second. 14-0 Keene. Set and the pitch. And that's a nice clean stroke to right field. Oh, the right fielder was coming in, and now he's forced to go back. It's going to be a stand-up double.
Great piece of hitting right there.
Both runners score.
Great piece of hitting by New Hampshire there. Still with 2 strikes, I believe, on him. But still looking for something to drive to the outfield and score those 2 guys.
Yeah, that was a full count, and McLaughlin still took it to deep right field for a stand-up double with 2 RBIs on that one. And it looks like we have another sub. Yes, for Schmidt is number 14, Hardock.
New Hampshire maybe just trying to get guys in, get them into the game, get involved in this first game of the 13-year-old regional tournament here for them. Driving all the way from New Hampshire. Most of the teams, actually all the teams got in yesterday. We had a great opening ceremony at Toccoa Country Club. Pretty fun for all the boys to get together, get all dressed up, and maybe meet each other for the first time.
First pitch was a swinging strike on Hardock, and the second is low and away for a 1-1 count.
I know for the softball regional that I went to back when I was maybe 14 too, staying in the same hotel with all the girls from all over the region was something pretty fun.
Yeah, that's always a good time. A lot of team bonding, a lot of jokes being
and not only with your own team, but it's fun to get to meet other girls in my case, but other boys in your case, I guess, from all over the region and people that you'll be playing against. But
yeah, absolutely. And that's a strike 2. Count is 2-2 on Hardock. Little problem with the scoreboard right now. And he fouls that off.
Can't talk too much smack. I think I got my dad over there doing the scoreboard. I look around him and I see a bunch of guys here watching maybe their younger brothers or just guys from Westfield that have grown up playing Babe Ruth and coming back.
Yeah.
Big strikeout right there for Vermont. Moving into the bottom half of the 4th, down 16-0. The game between Keene, New Hampshire, and suburban Vermont moving into the bottom of the 4th here in Westfield, Massachusetts for the 13-year-old regional.
Down the mound, number 9, Tucker Brown.
Welcome back here to the 13-year-old regional in Westfield, Massachusetts. Tim, wave hi to the camera. My name's Annalise Eck, joined by Tim Kelleher.
Ooh, first pitch, line drive. Oh, and the center fielder.
Great grab by the Keene, New Hampshire center fielder.
Wow.
Trying to shut down this Vermont team from getting a rally started in the bottom half of the 4th, down 16-0.
Really nice grab. Very nice grab by the center fielder there. Reached out, didn't have to dive, but still, regardless, very nice play. Now, at the bat is Ryan Canty, number 5. And that one's in the dirt.
Again, Vermont not trying to be too selective on the pitches. Definitely maybe expanding their strike zone a little bit, trying to get things going here in the bottom half of the 4th. Turning into a beautiful night here at Bullens. I love being here for these 7 o'clock games and seeing the sunset out by center field, left center.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's another ball, 2-0, 1 out for Canty.
Something that you and I have gotten really used to is just the beauty of Bullens, but I mean, every time we're here, I just feel really lucky. Even though I've never played on Bullens, it's always been really lucky to just know that this place is A, right around the corner from me, and B, in my hometown.
Absolutely. It is really nice, and I really did love playing on this field for the most part. The only thing I didn't like was being at first base around like a 5 o'clock game maybe, because the sun goes right in your eyes as a first baseman. That's a ball 4, 5-pitch walk for Ryan Canty. But still, just had to keep your head down. But other than that, yeah, I loved playing at this field. It was great. The outfield was never unpredictable. It's very smooth, honestly, and that's a drive down the third base line, and the third baseman gathers it, throws to second, and that might be an interference call, to be perfectly honest. He didn't slide. I know if I was the coach or the pitcher, I would be talking to the third base umpire, asking, what was that? Why didn't he slide or get out of the way? Kind of interfered with the throw, but they're going to say that he's fine. Two down now for Carter Monks. I think we may have had a sub. Oh, sorry, no, Jake Perrott.
Number 9.
Oh. Wait.
Tyler?
No. Okay. There was a sub that we missed. Wonderful.
Tim and I getting too distracted working with each other up here.
Barrows, number 9, in for Jake Perrott. It's a 2-0 count on him, and with a swing strike, it makes it 2-1.
Tim, I think that I attempted to play baseball for 1 year of my softball career.
Yeah.
And it was on the same team as you.
Really?
Yep, and your dad was my coach. And I made it about maybe 3 weeks on the team, only because me and you were playing catch, and this was back when we were little, maybe 8 years old.
I think I remember
Me and you were playing catch, and you hit me in the eye with a ball. And the next day, your dad did the same exact thing to the same exact eye. And that's what I decided softball would be it for me. We're 3rd out of the inning. We're moving into the top of the 5th here in Westfield, Massachusetts for the 13-year-old regional between Keene, New Hampshire, and suburban Vermont. Currently, it's 16-0. Moving into the top of the 5th.
the mound, number 13, Jake Perrott.
We're back here in the top half of the 5th inning for the 13-year-old regional. It's game 3 on the day. First day of play here in this pool play bracket between Keene, New Hampshire, and suburban Vermont. Currently, it's 16-0 New Hampshire.
Press box is getting a little rowdy right now.
They're all getting a little
just
excited.
Having a great time. Up first, I believe, is Tucker Brown, the only guy on Keene that hasn't come around to score. He's 2 for 3 with a walk, a single, a double, and 3 RBIs, but he hasn't scored himself.
See the Pittsfield boys walking by. If you're tuning in for that game, probably going to start closer to 9 o'clock, originally scheduled for 7 o'clock. Had a little bit of a setback with the first game.
That should be a good one. Westfield versus Pittsfield is always a good one.
It's always been a good rivalry. I can remember back to when my brother played, who's now 29, back to when he was playing here. Definitely a good rivalry between Pittsfield and Westfield starting off the tournament.
Absolutely. I remember playing against Pittsfield and Leominster. Those were the 2 teams that I couldn't stand. No offense to our Pittsfield listeners, but that was my mentality going into it. I had to hate them. They were always good teams. If I thought, oh, yeah, I like them, then I would have just done a lot worse against them. And sits on that one is Tucker Brown, and he singles up the middle. Up next is number 15, Brandon. No outs. Tucker Brown on first.
If it gets weird, just get off and figure it out. When all else fails, go to camera 3.
Yeah. Jordan might have said
And that was a called strike on Brandon. And that was another called strike. Low pitch.
Vermont, I feel like every time they get up offensively, they start to make a little bit of a run towards a little bit of a rally. But then the Keene, New Hampshire boys coming up with big plays.
And that's fly ball in foul territory and out of play. First baseman giving chase. Count remains at 0-2, no outs. Runner on first. 16-0.
Vermont still, like we've been saying, still just needs to shut down this Keene team, not letting them get too many more runs, if at any. Last inning, letting them get 2.
They have scored in every inning. That's a fly ball in foul territory. Should be manageable for the first baseman. He does grab it.
Great job by the first baseman there, getting off the bag. Normally a little bit of a tough play, I feel like, for the first baseman going back to his glove side, and great job by him.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, Keene has scored every single inning, so it's really hard to shut them down. They're hoping for a double play ball right now. But they need a big half inning to stay alive. And that's a ball inside to Zach Moores. Moores started the game, the first inning pitching, but quickly switched to left field. Moores was perfect as far as strike count, 9 for 9. And that's a ball outside to Moores. The count is 2-0. 1 out.
This Vermont pitcher, like we've been saying before, Tim, again, not trying to do too much. Still just trying to throw strikes, let his defense do the work. It's unfortunate they've just been having some timely hitting by Keene, New Hampshire, putting it in the gaps and over the outfielders' heads.
That's a line drive to center field, but he has it lined up perfectly. And that's F8 for the second out of the inning, and the runner remains on first.
I know those balls that just got hit, those kind of line drives to the outfield, as an outfielder, they always kind of caught me a little bit off guard. I was expecting something, like a high fly ball or something like that.
Yeah.
And anytime that happened, almost had to turn my infielder back on a little bit and get right onto that ball.
And with those low line drives, you're never 100% sure because they could have some weird spin on it and they just end up
Exactly.
floating up there and just getting higher and higher that
Exactly.
you're not expecting. You're coming in on it and it goes right over your head. Always something that you're scared of happening. You don't want to look like a fool. Foul ball on that one, 0-1 count to Yardley.
That Vermont center fielder, though, doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, great play.
Freezing on the line drive and making sure that and making sure that ball gets caught.
Pitch is low. Ball gets past the catcher, and Brown takes second. 1-1 count to Yardley. Yardley has had a pretty good day. In the first, he singled and eventually scored. In the second, rather, he reached on an error, stole a base, scored. In the third, he struck out, and in the fourth, got a single and came around to score. Ball in the dirt, gets past the catcher again, and Brown is now on third. Throw down, wasn't able to get him. Now a 2-1 count on Liam Yardley, who, as I just said, has had a pretty good day. And that's a strike. Looks right down the middle. 2-2 on Yardley. 2 outs, 1 runner on.
Still 2 outs, though. Plenty for this Vermont team to just get an out, kind of end this inning, and put up a big 0 for the Keene, New Hampshire team.
And that's a swing and a miss. It seems that he fouled it off. So he stays alive.
Still 2-2 here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th.
1 runner on. Promised myself I would never say this, but deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Keene just trying to put the ball in play and score this run, make it 17-0.
And they might do just that. Gets past the third baseman, and Tucker Brown comes around to score for the first time tonight. And Liam Yardley with an RBI single.
Vermont looking a little bit obviously upset about this game, but moving forward, they got plenty of games left. It's only day 1 of the pool play tournament. These boys, for the rest of this game and for tomorrow, just need to pick their heads up and move forward. Forget about this game and kind of put it in the past. Pretend like it never even happened.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a high fly ball in left field. Left fielder gets it.
Great job by the left fielder. Moving into the bottom half of the 5th, 17-0. Game between Keene, New Hampshire and Suburban Vermont here in the 13-year-old regional tournament at Bullens Field in Westfield, Massachusetts.
Now on the mound, number 39, Liam Yardley.
We're back here. Tim Kelleher and Annalise Eck back in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 17-0 Keene, New Hampshire. Suburban Vermont just looking to get back in this game.
Yep, so up first. Oh, it seems that there's a sub, Jonas Keim, number 3.
That's what I like to see. Getting aggressive, first strike, swinging. I always used to tell my dad always used to tell me, he was my coach pretty much my whole life. First swing that you take should be the hardest swing of your at bat.
Strike right down the middle, looking.
Quickly down 0-2. Still plenty of room, though.
The sky looks incredible, not going to lie. And that's a strikeout looking on Keim.
Always pretty cool for these boys, too. You don't know if they've ever even maybe played a night game before. We're fortunate here at Bullens that we do have.
And they check his swing, and they say he did go around for strike 1.
Fortunate that we do have the lights here. Played many night games.
And that one's in the dirt. Ball 1, 1-1, 1 out. Nobody on. And that one hits the plate. That's in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-1. And that one was fouled off. Makes the count 2-2.
Only 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. I do believe the mercy rule will come into effect this inning if Vermont does not put some runs up. I hate to see that happen to them on their first game. But like we mentioned before, plenty of tournament left for them to turn things around.
And that's strike 3 swinging. 2 down.
Pretty sure Vermont is down to their final out of this ball game.
Yep. Colby Beaupre. Starting pitcher, or rather the relieving pitcher, second pitcher in the game for Vermont. To put it in perspective, Keene, most batters have 5 at-bats today, and this, with everyone else's, would be Colby's second. And that's a ball low. No one has more than 2 at-bats.
You can also look at the hits, Tim. Keene, New Hampshire having 17 hits and 17 runs with no errors. Then the Vermont boys only have 2 hits with no runs and then 3 errors.
Yeah.
Not that those errors lost them the game, but definitely not helping the 17-0 deficit.
Second pitch was in the dirt. Third pitch is also low. So that's a 3-0 count on Colby Beaupre.
Like we said before, though, plenty of tournament left for them. This should definitely not be a huge confidence killer for them. They earned their way to be here at this regional tournament, winning both their district and their state.
And that's ball 4 for Colby. He is on. Now Neil Guy, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, is up for the 3rd time.
Still just trying to get base hits, get the ball in play here.
And that's a ball low to Guy. And it's a tall order, but anything can happen. I mean, just look at the scoreboard. Keene has had 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1 consecutively in innings, and it just goes to show that you can get any amount of runs, any team, any time.
Definitely agree with that.
And that is also low, so 2-0 to Neil Guy now. Pitcher comes to the set, looks over at first, the pitch, and that's also low, 3-0.
Vermont Vermont base runner getting a quick look from the catcher. Not throwing down, but definitely Keene, New Hampshire catcher is recognizing him over there, taking a bigger lead.
Yeah, and that is 7 straight balls. 7 straight balls for this pitcher. He throws over to first, but he gets in easily, sliding.
Almost caught him right there.
Throws over again. Yeah, almost gets him. Again, 7 straight balls.
Vermont may be looking to put somebody in scoring position and at least put up 1 run,
Yeah.
if not more, this half of the inning.
Yeah. And that one is in there, inside corner for strike 1. 3-1 count.
3-1 though. Hitter's count, looking for a strike, looking for something that he can drive.
And that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Runners on first and second, 2 down.
Love to see that from the Vermont dugout, though. Still cheering for the team. Still looking excited to be here.
Whipping a towel around. Ben Knapp now batting, number 6.
Vermont having runners at first and second. Definitely looking to score both of them. Put up some runs this inning.
And that's a strike right down the middle.
Trying to keep themselves in this game. Like we mentioned a couple times, definitely shouldn't be disappointed. Regional tournament, bigger stage here. Teams from all over the Northeast region.
Yeah. And that was a swinging strike 0-2 now to Knapp. And the pitch. And that's a ground ball to third, and he just gathers it and touches third, and that's the game.
General thoughts moving in. Keene, New Hampshire coming off a big win with this game, shutting down Vermont 17-0. Vermont definitely needs to refocus and move back in to their next game tomorrow. I'm not sure what time that'll be, but we're going to take a quick break, and then move into the originally scheduled 7 o'clock game. Probably going to start closer to 9 o'clock with Westfield, Massachusetts, and Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Going to be a great game, so tune back in with us.